means pain. Who he was, the person he was pain. And he says, God, please help me not to do to other people what's been done to me. God, please, the life that has tried to be thrown at me, the person I could have been, Lord, the pain that's been put on my life, please help me not to duplicate that in somebody else. And a lot of times in our own life is the pain that's been put on us. We can either choose to keep doing that to other people, or we can choose to process our pain in a way that turns your test that you went to into your testimony. That turns your pain that you went through into a blessing. That all of a sudden the pain that someone else is going through, you're the answer. And all of a sudden the thing that you thought was so horrible and horrific, which it was, and can I just say for the record, whatever pain that you have, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that happened to you. But can I ask you tonight to go to a place that's safe? To run to a God whose arms are wide open. To run to a place where He's ready to fix you. To a dad who wants to love you. For somebody that has hope. Can I tell you there's hope? And can I tell you that no matter what you've been through, it is just something for you to use a little bit down the road in your story. It's something for you to use that there's somebody just a little bit further down that might not even be here or might be. But you are the answer. You are the puzzle piece. You are the thing for them to begin to put their life back together. But if you choose to use your pain and begin to process your pain in a way that it's useful. Or if not, the thing that you are, you reproduce that in somebody else. There's not much others said about Jabez. But the thing is, if he didn't make that choice to say, God, help me not to duplicate myself and other people, he could have lived a life of just reproducing himself. Pain. What's been done to me, I'm going to do to him. The life I had to struggle with, but he didn't. He said, God, help me not to inflict this pain on other people. And tonight, can I get the band to come back up? Tonight, I want to ask you, Awakening. I came here from Utica to ask you, would you begin, even this prayer that was prayed by Jabez, would you begin to process your pain? Would you begin to ask God to go where you go? Will you begin to ask Him for things and blessings that you never knew were there? Would you begin to tap into the life you've called to live? And would you please tonight not leave this place until you process your pain through the cross of Jesus Christ? And if you're here for the very first time, you're in the right place tonight. And if you're here tonight and you have pain and you've been hurt, and I'm sorry, but can I tell you there's hope? Can I tell you that there's a destiny over your life? There's a purpose for you. And I'm not just saying this because that's what people say, but I'm saying it because there's been pains in my life. There's been things that have been said to me that shouldn't have been said to me. There's been things, I'll just be honest tonight, that I wasn't a planned child. I wasn't, it was kind of a mistake. And I remember all of a sudden one day when I was younger, all my brothers and sisters a little bit older than me, and I remember wondering, that's weird, I have 3 kids really close to each other and then one random one. What? That makes sense. I remember sitting down with my parents and for them to begin to tell me the story. In short, my dad, who is now my hero, at the time they were having real bad problems with my mom. My dad got in his car one day and drove off with my mom and 3 kids just standing there, and he left. And he came back and they began to work things out, and then all of a sudden here's me. And they named me Joshua, which means salvation. They named me Joshua because I began to, just because of the life that they produced in me, began to put my family back together. And I was named Joshua because from that point on, my dad made a choice to live his life, not for himself, but to live his life for something greater. And God grabbed a hold of his life, and they named me Joshua for that reason. And so I could have grown up with pain. There was pain right before I was born. But all of a sudden there was a choice made. And my dad and my mom began to process the pain that they were going through in a different way. And now I'm here speaking to you, asking you, would you process your pain in a way that will change people's lives? Will you make a choice to say, God, I don't know why these things happen to me, but I know you have a plan for my life. And I know you want something great for me. And because who knows, one day, who could be standing here with a mic in their hand because of the life you chose to live. Because of the God that you serve that's greater than any pain that you've gone through. And tonight, can I just have everyone just stand to your feet? And I'm going to pray over you. And for you that have you've never had an encounter with Jesus, if you're new to this place and you've never asked him to be a part of your life, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to pray with you and ask you to pray that. And then the rest of you, we're going to pray that tonight you would make a choice. That you would say, I'm going to process the pain in my life. And I'm going to live a life greater than I could ever think.